he probably knows that he's not going to be able to accomplish a lot with the Dark Templar harass if he is indeed going to be harassing with them. So he's basically switched into long-term game mode. Since there's a lot of economy on both sides now, it is going to be a longer game, and so he's preparing for that, getting those High Templar, which basically the High Templar make the difference in the Protoss game versus Terran. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. Kind of see if Flash can respond to that, because he is going to have Templar pretty quickly. This shuttle, I'm pretty certain, has a couple Dark Templar in it. He's going to try and drop those in there. I'm not certain that's going to accomplish a whole lot, because Flash does have a lot of turrets around. He's got a lot of detection, and he's got the siege tanks placed. A lot of times, Terrans will forget to put siege tanks, like, you know, in their main in a good spot to block against that kind of thing. So in this case, Flash has put a couple siege tanks in his main, and he's going to be able to hold that off pretty well. Dark Templar dropping out there, trying to pick off those SCVs. Flash has got to have comsat. He's probably waiting for a moment when those Dark Templar are not going to be able to hide in the shuttle, is what I'm thinking here. But the shuttle is hovering around them very well. So, okay, he's planting down mines now, so the Dark Templar are not going to be able to drop right... Oh, wow, I think that Dark Templar just totally died. He tried to drop it out and then pick it up again, but I don't think that worked very well. Unfortunately, like I said before, I think in another commentary, I can't hear the audio for some reason in this program when I'm commentating, so I couldn't hear if that Dark Templar died or not, but I'm pretty sure he died. Another Dark Templar dropping out. Comsat goes off, and Flash kills off both the Dark Templar there. And Goliath's coming out. That shuttle's in danger. It doesn't look like... Oh, it looks like he's going after the... Oh, that's too bad, actually, for Flash. That Goliath... well, maybe he targeted that, he might have been targeting that observer while he had the comsat off and decided to take out the shuttle later. But I think if he kept targeting that shuttle, he might have been able to pick off that shuttle there. And Flash here, getting a couple starports and a science facility. I've actually been advocating this a little bit lately. I think the Terrans need to go science vessels against Protoss in the long-term game, in the end game, more. And for some reason we see freaking Terran players just going around with only vultures and tanks against high-tech Protoss units, and really they need science vessels to EMP, and at the very least Goliaths to try and hold off the shuttles, because it's just absolutely ridiculous for a top-level Terran player to be just sitting around with tanks, just getting picked off with little zealot bombs in, you know, the 20th minute of a game, and we're only, I think, into minute 12 of this game at this point, but still, the point stands. So Flash, again, showing himself to be a smart player, going for some science vessels. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he went for some big air also. It might be a reason why he's building that second starport. He may have comsatted this stuff over here. And Free, obviously, going for carriers. Carriers, very, very good on this map. There's so many map artifacts, so many ridges that you can go over, that it's really, really impossible to get a good bead on carriers on this map. And Flash, in the meantime, though, before he has those carriers out, making it looks like a big push here up the middle. He's got a ton of tanks and a lot of vultures, and I really don't think that Free has enough forces on the ground at this point to deal with that. He's been spending a lot of money recently on tech and on a lot of stargates and stargates and gateways. And he's going to throw his units down in the middle here, but I really don't think he has enough there. Flash just has an absolute ton of tanks here, and he's got those Goliaths to deal with that shuttle. He's hoping for that shuttle. The only thing is he does have High Templar on that shuttle, so if he can get off some good storms. Flash has clumped up his tanks a lot, and that is going to be a big deal. If Free can get off some good storms on those tanks, he's wasting his storms on those vultures a little bit there. That was a good storm against the vultures now, but those tanks are in real deep trouble here. This is going to be a big problem for Flash if Free gets off some good storms here. He's not really getting off some good storms on that clump of tanks though, so Free's going to have to fall back there, and Flash going in there and picking off that picking off the last hit points on that Hard Templar. Excellently played by Flash, except for clumping up his tanks, but honestly, Flash got lucky that Free is, like, I mean, that's what separates Free from your top level. That's what separates Free from Bisu and Stork, is Bisu or Stork would have stormed the heck out of Flash's tanks right there, and so Flash got a little bit lucky there. Planting down some mines here in the middle. Flash's push now almost at the center natural there. Wow, oh my gosh, lucky mine for Flash. That mine just following that zealot in there and actually killing off the High Templar. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, Flash now at his natural here, and this is extremely bad for for Free at this point. Flash doing a good job. He has picked off most of the ground units, though, that were protecting those tanks, so he doesn't have much protecting those tanks right now. Oh, that friendly mine scared me for a second there. So it looks like this push will hold, though. The push is going to hold, so extremely, extremely bad. Basically, Flash coming in at the perfect moment. He's coming in at the perfect moment when Free does not have his carriers out and running yet, and he had lost the ground forces that he would have gotten by spending that money on ground forces instead of that air units. And now, though, we are going into this crucial time. Basically, we're going to see how much damage Flash can do right here in these few moments while Free is getting interceptors racked up. And Free, in the meantime, has taken another base, though. So, oh, actually, so has Flash. So we're seeing things economically pretty even at this point. And now Flash is basically going to try and pump out Goliath to deal with those carriers. But in the meantime, though, Flash has actually managed to push himself all the way into Free's door. Things looking extremely, extremely bad for Free at this point. A ton of tanks right out of his door. They're not within range to take out any buildings at the moment, but that's only going to be a matter of a few seconds while he squeezes them through that choke point there. And, oh, it looks like Free knows that he's going to lose that battle right there. He's not even going to try. He's going to depend on his carriers to try and pick things off slowly. Because Flash does not have a lot of Goliaths there, so it's possible he can micro around and pick off those Goliaths. Oh, I thought Free was going to counterattack, but no, it looks like he's drawn his forces back after all. So maybe he figured he had enough carriers that he might be able to hold this off. And really, things, though, looking extremely bad for Free. He's having to run his carriers away. Flash just have a lot of Goliaths there, and really the main point here is that because Flash is on the offensive, then Free has to come to Flash with those Goliaths there. More Storm going off. Again, not the best Storm that he could have done, and not hitting those tanks there. He was hitting the Goliaths a little bit there, and Free making a huge mistake there, going in and bringing his carriers too far in, and Flash able to pick off a couple carriers, and Free knew that was the end. Wow. So Free GG's, and the Flash is going to take that game. Wow, that was excellently played by Flash, moving in at just the right moment. When those carriers were not up yet, and then switching to pumping Goliaths, and again, just perfect timing. The Goliaths coming in en masse just in time to deal with those carriers, in time to kill off the carriers there, and Flash, for some reason, going into the audience, handing stuff out there. So that was an excellent game, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but KTF was up 2-1, so Flash having just taken that match and taken the whole matchup for his team, so excellently done by Flash, and hopefully we'll see Free improving. I know he's got some potential there, but we'll have to see him do a little bit better in the future. Alright, thanks for listening.